previous video, we had introduced R software and learned different panes in RStudio. Hello, good people. For those who are new here, my name is Defa, and I'm an applied statistician by profession. Before we get started with the video, kindly get to the description area and read on what our video is all about, and show some love by smashing the like button and subscription tab to get notifications whenever we upload different tutorials. Alright, let's move straight to it. Today we are going to talk about understanding data types in R, and by the end of this session we should be able to answer these two questions. We should be able to understand different data types in R, and we should also be able to create different data types in R. And our objective is to expose learners to different data types in R and show them how these data types can be created using R software. In order to make the best out of R, one has to have proper understanding of basic data types and how to operate on them. Let's first understand some of the basic data types on which R objects are built. And these data types can be numeric, they can be integer, they can be character, they can be factor, they can be logical, and they can be complex. We also are reminded of the unassignment operator, and in this case R uses a symbol of less than with a dash in front as an assignment operator. And to begin with, you are going to start by numeric data type. Numeric data type are individual numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, or floating point values such as 2.2, 5.6, 7.9. And here we're going to assign our variable x the value of 5, and we'll also look at the class of x. And when we write that on our chunk and run it, this is what our console will output. It will assign the value 5 to the variable x, and it will also show us that x is of class numeric. Another thing that we'll be able to look at is the integer. These are numbers that do not contain decimal values and have a data type as an integer. However, to create an integer data type, you explicitly use as.integer function and pass the variable as an argument. And in this case, when we use our variable y and assign it the value 3, and we use the as.integer function, this is what will be outputted. This is what we'll have as an output, We'll have the value 3 which was assigned to y, and its class will be an integer. In this case, 3 is not numeric because we used the function of as.integer. This function converted the value 3 from being numeric to an integer. Another data type that will be looking at is called character, and as the name suggests, it can be a letter or combination of letters enclosed by quotes, and it can also be combination of numbers enclosed by quotes. And this is what we have in our chunk. When we run this, it will give you even the value 1, 2, 3 as a character y, because we enclosed those values in quotes. And another data type is called factor. They are data type that is used to refer to qualitative relationship like colors, good, bad, cause, or movie ratings, and they are useful in statistical modeling. To achieve this, you will make the use of C function, which will return a vector that is one dimension by combining all the elements. And here we have our variable, we have given it the name fac, and when we apply the C function and also look at the class of our variable, this is what we'll get as our output. We'll be able to see that we have our factors to be good, bad, and ugly. And we also have our data type to be factor, and we also have levels. And another thing that we should also remember is that the variable fac, that is factor, has 3 variables as good, bad, and ugly, and which can be checked by use of the function level. Here we'll create our function level, and we'll use this function to check the levels that we have in our variable. And when we apply that, we'll be able to see that we have these levels. We have the bad level, we have the good level, and we have the ugly level. And another thing we can also do is to check the number of levels that are contained in our variable. And we can do this by using nLevels function, and we'll be able to see that we have 3 levels, that is good, bad, and ugly. Another data type that we'll be able to look at is called logical data type. This is a variable that can have a value of true or false, and when we assign that value true or false to our different variables, we'll be able to see that it will return the class to be logical. And apart from using class function, we can also use type of function. It also does what class function do. And the last variable that will, the last data type that we'll be able to look at is called the complex data type. These are complex numbers with real and imaginary parts. And when we do that, it will also return our class to be of complex. Before we move forward, we are required to remind ourselves of a couple of important tips that become handy while using R software. We should always remember that R is case sensitive. By that I mean R will not regard capital K to be the same as small k. And with that, this is the example that illustrates that. If we assign our value small k, the value 5.6, and we call the capital K instead of k, this is what R will give us. This is what R will give us. Error object k is not found. Why? Because we did not assign the value k any, we did not assign the variable k any value, but instead we used small k. Another thing that we should also be able to recall is that we can be able to check the objects that we defined in our working environment by use of ls function. You just type the function ls and then you run it. It will be able to give you different variables that you are able to use in your working environment. That marks the end of our session, and in case you have any comment, in case you have any question, any comment, kindly send it to the comment section. We'll be happy to answer it, and we'll also be happy to get your feedback. And in case you find this video helpful, kindly do click on the like button and also click on the share so that we can be able to reach other people and be able to learn together. Until then, bye for now.